We're 2.5 hours into trading. It is Tuesday, August 31st, the last trading day of the month. Hello, traders. Should have a little bit of end of month, beginning of the month fun buying. We've got a lot of economic news coming out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. ADP, ISM Manufacturing, Jobs Report Friday, ISM Services. Lots of economic news that will be coming out. I think the results are going to be very solid, but slightly below expectations. Not a lot of market impact. This is all pre-holiday trading. Should see fairly light volume in here as well. Markets made a really big move, so I'm expecting it to digest gains from the last week. And we should see fairly quiet trading today. Why? Well, you can see the high from yesterday. You can see the low from yesterday. We are 2.5 hours into trading and we are still inside of yesterday's range. So should be an inside day. I think traders are going to be fairly cautious in here today, not really take any big positions one way or the other. They'll wait for the news to see how it comes out and then they'll react accordingly. Given that we are inside of this trading range, you can see how there is an upward sloping trend line right now. We have a bearish 10P cross, so I'm going to drop an alert line. I'm going to click there. I'm going to click there. There's my upward sloping alert line. If that upward trend line is breached, I'm going to get a pop-up alert. And I also know that right now my bias should favor the short side a little bit here. Very choppy move higher. Not a very strong move because we've got lots of red candles mixed in here. So that tells me that there's not a lot of directional movement. We're likely to establish a high, a low, and then kind of move within that range that's established today. So let's find a stock that we like. Let's take a look at yesterday's pick. AFRM was my pick of the day yesterday. I love this gap up through major resistance levels. Stock is giving back a little bit. We don't want to see it retrace too far into the gap, but we have been able to preserve the low from yesterday. As long as that's the case, I would continue to be long this stock. If that fails, you need to stop out of the trade. Take a look at the 5-minute chart very quickly. Stock's not doing a whole lot of anything. There's the low from yesterday. You can see that preserved. So not doing a whole lot. It's kind of digesting massive gains from yesterday. I'm going to go to the pick of the day for today, Tesla. Yesterday, I showed this in the video and I said this could be my pick of the day if it's able to get through horizontal resistance right here, and you can see how it's been able to do that today. SPY is now below that upward sloping trend line. We'll keep an eye on that. So let's go back to Tesla. It's been able to get through that horizontal resistance level right there. It's above the major moving averages. Nice, strong, upward sloping trend line. And you can see if we draw that upward sloping trend line, might as well drop a GTC alert line because when it is breached someday, I'll want to know about it. One, almost two, three, four touches. That is a nice support level around that 100-day moving average. If you wanted to be a little bit more aggressive, you could use that 675 support level to sell an out of the money bullish put spread, maybe a 675, 670. Or if you want to be a little bit more conservative, you can see that the 100-day moving average comes into play at 663. So you could sell an out of the money bullish put spread below that level, maybe a 662.50, 660 bullish put spread. I like Tesla. I think it works well here. Not expecting a lot of fireworks the rest of the week, as you know from my comments. That looks pretty good. Let's do a little technical analysis, see what else we can find. I do have another stock that I really like, Bull Run. This shows stocks that have had strong momentum throughout the course of the day. And I'm not seeing it on here currently, but I like Amazon. Amazon's got a really nice bounce off of this low. It is in the gap here, so it should continue to move higher, especially if you can get through that 50-day moving average. We should see it fill in some of this right here. So Amazon also looks pretty good to me. I'm going to go into heavy buying. Let's see what we've got there. We've got actually a lot of stocks in here. Chinese stocks have been fairly strong today, but they are bouncing off of deeply oversold conditions. I would only day trade those. I would not swing trade them. One little whiff of news from the Chinese government could send those stocks right back down again. Just risk reward is not very good when you are walking on eggshells, wondering what they may or may not say. Everything can look great as far as your position for a week or two, and then one news event like that sends the stocks down 5 or 10% overnight. So we've got quite a few stocks here. I don't want to knock through all those. Let's see what we've got on the red hot list. Well, there's Amazon and Tesla right there. So I might as well conclude there. Those are your two stocks. Look really, really good. Excellent strength all day long. Very good relative strength as well. Choppy market, not going anywhere. Upward sloping trend line here, breach to the downside. I am probably going to be looking at a short trade here on the S&P futures. I've had a few questions on how to trade the 1OP indicator. Really nice bullish cross here to start the day, early in the day. That was an excellent signal. So yesterday we had a bullish start to the day. This is where we need to be cautious because we had a bearish cross. We get a down move on the 1OP indicator, which would normally lead to a down move in the market. And when that does not happen and we compress or even move higher, as was the case here, that is what we call a bullish divergence. This move is super, super powerful because it tells us that the market is defying gravity and that it wants to move higher. As soon as you get your bullish cross here, it's a little bit late, but you've got some excellent upside to it. We identified that bullish divergence right about in here. So when we were starting to get some tails under body and some compression, it was pretty clear that we were going to be heading higher. So many of us were able to take advantage of that move, but the rest of the day on these gap and go moves, gap up to a new all-time high, typically these fail. If you missed that move, you had a little bit of an opportunity here, and then everything flatlines once that move is made. I do not like trading gap and go formations when we are making a new all-time high because the rug can get pulled out from underneath you. Lots of gap reversals. If I go into the daily chart, I can show you what I mean. When we get these gap up moves off of major technical support, those I like. So let me go in and show you what I mean. So when we have a big drop like this and the market has established support, right there you can see a green bar, inside bar, and then you get a gap up, this you can buy. Get a nice little pullback, support established here, close on the high, gap up, gap and go. Support established, gap up, nice. Support established, gap up, very nice. Same thing here. Support established, gap up, gap and go. Gap and goes off of these lows. You can trade very effectively. There's another one. Support established, gap up, boom. Now the ones that you have to be very careful of are the ones that are near an all-time high. For instance, gap up, new all-time high, gap reversal. You can see there are a number of gap reversals in here too as we're trying to get through that resistance level. Find another one in here. Trying to find another gap reversal off of a new relative high. I know they're in here. There's one right in there, although it's a pretty small one. The point being is that when you're gapping up, yesterday was an exception. When you're gapping up, it is best not to chase stocks. That typically attracts profit takers, and you're typically going to, at very least, see a pause on that gap up. Most of the time, you are going to see at least some retracement back into the gap, and then you can go higher. So when you see these gaps up to a new all-time high, be very, very careful on the open. Don't worry about missing a move like this because there's a lot of psychological damage that's done when you chase like this and then the rug gets pulled out from underneath you. Then you're left holding a bunch of losing positions. So don't feel like you have to catch every single move. Be very patient right now. We also have fairly light volume now going into the holiday. That might be helped by some of the economic news that we've got coming up, but there is really good news. in about 2 weeks or so, we're going to start to see some normal volume coming back into the market. We should have a fantastic fall quarter. That is when I really like to ramp up my trading because the price action is very, very fluid. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.